Alright everyone, welcome to Painesville Mini Luck by Furyblade787. Now you might be thinking, wow, this is late, part 1, on a Friday? What? And your mind just explodes from the pure impossibility of that happening. Anyway, what happened was I attempted to film part 1 multiple times, and multiple times I had to restart the entire Odyssey because I didn't bring the correct towers along. So let me help you out here. If you're doing this Odyssey and you don't have druids or villagers, good luck on map 2. I don't think it would be quite possible. Anyway, now that I've got druids and villagers, I think there is a chance. Can't tell you how high of a chance that is. I'm not going to bring Etienne along because I've sort of just pigeonholed myself into using Etienne for no particular reason. I mean, don't get me wrong, camo all around is great, and with my original strategy, which didn't include villagers or druids, it included spike factories and ice monkeys. But yeah, at that time, I thought to myself, yes, Etienne will grant everything camo detection. That eliminates a lot of problems that I might face. But then when I realized that druids were needed to stop the regrow on map 2, and then I realized that that's not enough, and then villagers were needed to permanently shut down the regrow on map 2, or at least more permanently, obviously the ice monkeys and the spactories were eliminated, and thus Etienne kind of became outdated and useless because I could just get a village instead. So, now we're going to try this, which I haven't tried before, so this is new. But yes, I've restarted this Odyssey twice now, just because of map 2. And I think a lot of people agree with me in saying that this Odyssey is quite difficult, even just at the starting line. So I'm still going to go with the same strategy I used the last time I played on this map, which was something along these lines. And one of these. That was a necromancer upgrade. Cool. Sweet, that would be nice to get a necromancer upgrade for like 175 gold. That'd be beautiful. And then I believe I got something like, I think it was this and this, and of course this. Just a 200 for now. But yeah, I believe this is what I used to get through this map. You could probably get through it with a lot less. Just throwing that out there. But this is what I used repeatedly to get through this map fairly consistently. Obviously not Sorta, I used Etienne instead, but I've decided against Etienne now, and I blame him for my losses, even though he probably had nothing to do with them. Anyway, here's my thought process with now picking Sorta instead. Sorta has a lot less range than Etienne by a mile. That's just a fact. But at the same time, Sorta has a lot more instant death abilities like that, which I think make up for the fact that her range is a little bit on the garbage side. So yes, that's what I'm thinking. Plus, Sorta's second ability will solve my problems on map 2, hopefully, if the village and the druid doesn't. Because, goddamn, that's painful, man. That is very painful. Furyblade, you're very lucky you're seeing this video, potentially, depends how well I do. You're very lucky you're seeing this video rather than the previous ones that I made. Because obviously I lost in all those previous ones, so the amount of hate I was spewing in general was a lot higher, because I was a lot less happy. And to be honest, it could happen again, but I like to think that I've evolved as a person within those brief 24-hour time period, roughly. So yeah, back to being optimistic about this whole situation. Feel like I've got a good shot, and I can get this done if I do it properly. Naturally. Right. Crossbowmasters first, then Necromancer, and then whatever I can give to the Boomer and the Super before the game ends, essentially. So, this should be good enough. I don't know how we'll go for dealing with the Moab. Might need a Super upgrade early, but we'll see. We shall see. Can we beat it without using a sorter ability? Oh, beautiful. That means we can use it on the second one if we need to. Never mind, Crossbowmaster, problem solved. Alright, see, this map, I've gotten down to a bit of an art form, not gonna lie. It's a little bit of an art form. As you can see, I have done this many times before. So this map shouldn't be a problem for me, in theory. There might be a couple of rounds where we'll have to do them again, but for the most part, I won't get annoyed and I won't start swearing a lot, which is good. That's good. We like it when there's positive vibes going on, you know? Positive vibes. In fact, at the point where I stopped attempting the previous day, I felt my mood jump drastically when I closed the game. But at the same time, I felt really bad because I was like, damn, I'm not as great of a BTD6 player as I thought. And that happens every time I get to an Odyssey where I get stuck. I always think that, and then I think to myself, no, hold on, wait a minute. The people that create these things are just sadists and want to watch people suffer. But they're also masochists because they have to put themselves through it first. So clearly it's them and not me. Yeah. I don't know. I mean, I feel like I've said this a million times over the past, I don't know, I don't even know how many videos it's been now. It's 8 or 9 failed attempt videos. But I've said this plenty of times before, and I'll just say it briefly now. I feel like Odysseys have the potential to be the hardest Ninja Kiwi approved game mode to be officially released, you know, because it's superficial and you can tell by the fact that you get medals for it, right? You get those little stars showing that you've completed it on whatever difficulty, right? But at the same time, you know, because think about it. If we're going for custom challenges, completely made by the community, for the community, nothing involved with Ninja Kiwi, you never hear them say like, oh, you can't use that tower in these custom challenges, or you can't use this in those custom challenges. No, everything's full reign, do what you want, like that, just do what you want, and it's all good. Bosses, as far as I'm aware, made entirely by Ninja Kiwi. They might hit a randomize button every now and then and just be like, hey, that looks like bullshit, no farming, no villagers, no Ben, no Geraldo. Sure, throw it at them. They'll figure it out. But still, for the most part, fairly doable, at least on the normal difficulty, maybe not the elite, that's a bit for pros. But yeah, when it comes to the Odysseys, it feels like whenever Ninja Kiwi makes them, they try and aim, at the very least, for the most part. I'm sure there's one, maybe 2 outliers, but they aim for it to be doable by everyone. And, my favorite part especially, have multiple solutions. So you're not, as I put it, pigeonholed into doing a specific strategy. Like, for example, druids in villages, which I am deeming necessary for this Odyssey, which kind of sucks, in my opinion. You know, if you give us a selection of towers to choose from, and we're not allowed to, or we don't have the capacity to take one of everything, then I feel as though, you know, it should allow for people to pick their favorites. And of course there's the whole debate of like, oh, if you pick your favorites then you might not have any camo detection and things like that, but that's basic, right? You know camos are showing up at some point in time, if it's from round 1 to 40. You know leads are showing up at some point in time, if it's the same. You know camo leads are showing up at some point in time, if it's from 1 to 60. Admittedly, it's second last round, but still. You gotta prepare for the basics. But then when it gets to insane levels of difficulty, like anything by Overclock, or anything by Furyblade, and I do believe there are some others, but these two seem to be the most frequent. In fact, I think I saw it best on the BTD6 subreddit. Someone was asking for help with this Odyssey. Made a post asking for help. And the very first comment said, right, here's what you do. Step 1, you open the Odyssey. Step 2, you see it's been made by Furyblade. Step 3, you give up and wait till next week. And I thought that was quite sad. Because obviously a lot of people genuinely do that, you know? A lot of people will actually look at the Odyssey and be like, oh, it's made by so-and-so? I'll just concede now, you know? It doesn't seem like fun if people give up before they even give it a shot. And I don't think that's the people's fault. I think it's because they've been tortured before. And there are definitely those, this happens every single time. Anytime a quote-unquote hard Odyssey comes out, there is always that one person that's like, bro, this is piss easy. Trust. I've made harder Odysseys, and I've done this and that and all the others, right? And there'll be other people that are just like, oh, and this isn't even the first version of this Odyssey. This is like the nerfed version 3 times over. This is like permaspike right now kinda nerfed. You know, and it's just like, why? How is that fun? At what point in time has BTD6 stopped being a game about fun and started being a game about torturing other people with challenges that are seemingly impossible unless you know exactly what towers to pick and what to use? Which I think is my main issue with Odysseys like this, right? It's not the difficulty. I'm happy with the difficulty. The fact of the matter is... Oh, shit. Really? Alright, well, I'm not restarting. I'm at 82. I'm gonna be able to afford permacharge anyway, but that was just dumb. I shouldn't have had that screen up. Anyway, I'll just... It sucks because this happened in the very first time that I recorded it too. And I was so bummed out because I was just like, oh damn it. Now I'm gonna fly through map 2 and everyone's gonna see that I used a continue. And obviously I didn't need it because look at that. We didn't change a thing. And it still worked. Anyway. I've lost my train of thought now. Yep. Don't remember what I was talking about. Obviously something to do with the Odyssey. But yeah, it just seems like... I don't know why people are trying to make this game the hardest fucking thing on the planet. You know, at least in solo and co-op, you know what you're getting into. And of course with things like CT and bosses as well, right? You know exactly what you're getting into. You're walking into it, and you can see the difficulty and all that. Oh, that's where I was going with this. Oh, right, yes, of course, past round 80. Stronger cerams. Okay, so we've got 20 grand extra. Of course we would have been able to afford it by this point. It's just the Odyssey format, right? Because this would be fine as an Odyssey overall if the most difficult parts were at the start. If you put the second map first and made that the opener, and then of course made it as extremely difficult as it is, right, that would be fine, because you can restart that fairly easily and not be pissed off and annoyed with the rest of your day. Whereas if you put it second or onwards, people have to drag themselves through the first level again just to get to the map that caused them pain and suffering, to be able to restart it with the new towers that they had to restart the Odyssey with and crawl back to, right? Admittedly, yes, that is the situation I'm in, and I find it very shitty that if I get to, for example, map 5, and then realize, oh shit, I didn't plan for powers being disabled, monkey knowledge being disabled, and selling being disabled, or I didn't realize the impact of... Okay, that's a bad example because everything's nerfed, but I didn't realize the impact of, you know, 180% Moab speed. And I didn't plan for that. I didn't bring anything to slow things down or things like that. You know, then if they get to that map and it's physically impossible with the towers they've chosen, that's just shit, isn't it? You gotta restart all of these 3 levels just to get back to that one. And I know that's the entire basis of the Odyssey. I'm not trying to shit on the actual game mode. I just think that trying to make it the hardest, most BS Odyssey you've ever versed or played is downright annoying. Like, don't get me wrong, you can make the hardest Odysseys you ever wanted to. I don't have a problem with people making difficult Odysseys. That's fine. Just keep it to yourselves. You know? Don't try and make this a an everyone kind of deal. Anyway, this is where the druids need to come in. Because if they don't, well, I don't know who will. But yeah, I want a druid. See, I like them here because they are more likely to throw a lightning ball down here. Because if you put them right here, they don't often do that unless there's balloons coming around this loop, because they can't see an attack through the tunnel because they're dumb. So if we just put one like there, grab those. I probably didn't need Druid of the Storm, to be honest. That's just a little side bonus thing. Also, I have thought up a semi-new strategy. Not that that technically matters, because obviously all of this is a new strategy because you've not seen the fails. But what I was thinking was primary expertise, right? Also, shout out to the one guy on the subreddit that has actually managed to beat this. I can't guarantee it because it was in screenshots, so I don't know if insta-monkeys or things like that were used, but as far as I can tell, it seems legit, and I like to believe people on face value that they're you know, not trying to fool or deny people intentionally at any point in time on purpose, so that's a lot, huh? Oh, I didn't even save any lives. But yeah, so as far as I can tell, it seems like one person's beaten this. But I don't imagine many others have. Because, obviously, it is difficult. Let's drop that right around there. Nice. One pesky red balloon almost got through there. Uh-oh. Yep. a bit of a mistime with that tornado there, buddy. No, we can do it now. We just need the lightning ball upgrade, which we can get mid-round. Cool, cool, cool. So time it for there again. And blow that back, please. Thank you. Ah, come on, we can time that better. But yeah, that's the gist of why I'm not a fan of this Odyssey. And you can sum that up. You can say, oh, because it's difficult, and to a degree you'd be correct. But I don't know. I just feel like Odysseys aren't meant to be difficult. For the weekly Odysseys, I should say. Odysseys in general, if you want to make your own custom Odyssey, by all means, make it as difficult as hell as you want. Why the hell not? Do it. But when it comes to the weekly one, I feel like, on average, it should be doable by everyone. Obviously, if people are new to the game, they will struggle more. That's natural. Monkey knowledge is, of course, an added extra benefit of... Oh, what the fuck, really? Sorta? What are you doing to me? You know? It just feels like... Okay, I feel like I've said this many, many times before. But in my ideal world, right? My ideal Odyssey is one that is moderately difficult, provides an interesting new take on BTD6 and how to play the game in general. I don't know. Sometimes it provides that with the custom rounds and stuff, but other times not necessarily, and that's fine too. But my main thing that I think personally should be across the board, with the exception of chimps, of course, I feel like every Odyssey should be doable on its own without monkey knowledge, but allow monkey knowledge for those who perhaps don't see the first immediate strategy that some of the pros might, aka me, not the pro, the idiot that doesn't necessarily see the good strategy, because I've restarted this multiple times now, so you can tell I don't have the good strategy up in here. No, that ain't always around. Sometimes it is. Sometimes I'm on point and I just one tower every map, and that's great. But for the most part, I'm typically in the dumb group. So yeah, I feel like for the most part, obviously with the exception of chimps, I feel like it should be doable on its own without monkey knowledge, but allow it for those who are struggling, you know? I personally enjoy that as quite a bit of a challenge too, and I've found that with like 99% of the Odysseys. You know, if you can't do it without monkey knowledge, typically with it makes life easy, or more doable, makes it more doable, to say the very least. And I think that's good, because that way, if you're a pro, turn off monkey knowledge, see how you fare then. And if you're not a pro, then turn monkey knowledge on. There's nothing wrong with that. It's been given by the game to make it so that the regular game, as well as other existing game modes, become a little easier. And then once you get used to monkey knowledge, that's when they rip it away from you and throw a chimps at you. Right? That's typically how it works. The second you get used to having monkey knowledge and being like, oh boy, tier 3 hero. Oh boy, gains XP faster. Oh boy, triple tornado spam. That's when the game's just like, oh, by the way, this is a chimps level, and that's not allowed. Can I blow that back, please? Oh, I did not expect that to actually work. Cool. I definitely expected that to just run through the tunnel and be like, no. I'm glad it didn't. But yeah, that's my 2 cents on the issue. And I still firmly believe it, and stand by it. You know, I'm all for difficult Odysseys, Also, I feel like there are some combos that shouldn't ever go together. Extreme mode, no monkey knowledge, custom rounds. Oh, that is a recipe for disaster. Custom rounds in Odysseys need to tell you what the custom rounds are on the screen. And I know that might take away the fun of figuring them out and being like, oh, that's interesting. But imagine this, and this has happened before. First 4 maps, no custom rounds. The 5th map has custom rounds. Now what happens if you get to that 5th map after using all the towers that you've selected? And it turns out the custom rounds is to spawn a bad on round 60. Right? And now imagine that the entire Odyssey that you've done so far, those first 4 maps, you didn't bring any farms with you. You didn't bring anything that can generate extra money, actually. And the bads got full health. Obviously it was a map and an Odyssey designed for submarines. You didn't pick up on that. It wasn't given away in the title at all. And you didn't pick any subs because you didn't think they were all that important. So now you're on map 5, on round 60. No way to insta-kill the BAD. And you're just there twiddling your thumbs, being like, well, what do I do? And if it is an Odyssey where there's no alternative solution, and that's just the way it has to be, that's shit, isn't it? Getting to map 5, and then being like, oh, well, I have to restart because I didn't choose a tower that I didn't know was the most important one for the whole Odyssey. You know? Anyway, that's just a hypothetical. That hasn't happened to me yet, but it's gotten quite close. It's gotten quite close. So, yeah, that just doesn't feel right, in my opinion, so. Thought I'd throw it out there. But yes, this is, a good strategy so far. And yes, I did sort of take inspiration from the Reddit post. I'm not gonna claim this immediately as my own strategy. This was 100% the post I saw on Reddit, so to the one person that did actually post screenshots of them beating this, I truly do believe that you didn't do it with Instamonkeys now, because this is fucking working. Well done, well played. I appreciate it. I don't think you'll watch my videos, but if you do, know that I am giving you credit. And if you are looking for the original thought, mind, person, idea behind this strategy, on the subreddit, BTD6 subreddit, just sort by new. If you're still within this week of the Odyssey, if you're any further than this week in the Odyssey, then hi, how you doing from the future? Well, I guess technically everyone would be watching this from the future. That's trippy. That's a little trippy. But cool. Trippy in a cool way. Not trippy in a, oh my god, no kind of way. Anyway, this is working surprisingly well. And you know what? I don't fully attribute this to Sorta. Admittedly, Sorta's the only difference between this attempt and my attempt before that. And the fact that I'm going for a primary expertise instead of a bunch of other garbage that I was using. But I don't attribute this win to Sorta specifically, right? Because I've done... Obviously, Sorta's the only difference, but I attribute this, and my pain and suffering so far, to Etienne being an asshole. Now, I know the subreddit also has this weird, hateful... I imagine it's jokingly done, but they've got this weird hatred towards French people, and Etienne happens to be French. So, they've got this weird hatred towards Etienne, right? I don't quite get it, but, like, holy shit. Having Etienne here, I thought it was a 5-head move. Lots of range, drones are good, got good abilities. It's just very, very good time overall, I thought. Multiple times Etienne lost me the game. Etienne and a dart monkey. Because one regrow balloon would slip through. I would only have one druid. I didn't really go for a 2 druid thing. But one regrow balloon would slip through. A regrow ceramic, maybe. And I thought to myself, okay, that's fine. Etienne's not insanely strong. He won't pop it. Turns out he popped it. And then it spawned more. And they'd have this little bend here to regenerate. And then he'd pop them again. And then there'd just be like 60 ceramics going through my defense. And that was just awful. Sort of like this, but obviously I had a lot less cash and a lot more French people. So yeah, I attribute this success so far, first of all, to Sorta. Let's not lie. Sorta is helpful here. But second of all, to not Etienne. I want to make that clear. How much does this cost? 27,000. I can't even afford it, even if I got it right now. And buying 2 upgrades at the top won't actually help me because nothing in here is primary. So, second lightning ball, maybe. That would help me deal with around 63. Alright, let's try it. Also might do a little Sorta jump preemptive, because we'll get that back before needing it again. There it is. Let's see how we do on the flyby. A little return trip. Okay, good. Nice. And then blow them back. Beautifully done. Now, lightning, finish the job, otherwise I will kill you. That's right, I will kill lightning. Be warned. Okay. Good, and good. I want to get those 2. Can I get 7 grand within this round? Doesn't seem likely, I won't lie. That was also another problem that Etienne made for me. Well, he didn't make it for me, but I wanted Etienne just to pop purple balloons mainly, because I was using a heck of a lot of magic. So I wanted Etienne to help out with the purple pop and power, which is very fun to say, by the way. You should give it a shot. Try it right now. Purple pop and power. Anyway, if we're going back to not being children again, yeah, that's what I wanted Etienne for. He just kept trying to pop leads, ceramics, all the things that Etienne shouldn't typically go for. I'm gonna do that quickly so that we can negate a lot of purples straight at the start. And then hopefully that allows us to focus a bit more on the ceramics. At least a little here. Did we blow those back? No, we didn't. Okay. So yeah, purples are a little bit of a pain. I don't want to get a mib because obviously I'm going for top path, as we can see. What else could I get? I mean, I guess the no-brainer thought was this guy. Do that. You stay on last. You will constantly just pop purples. I don't give a shit if you want to pop Moabs or whatever's in first. You will not. You will learn to pop purples, and you will enjoy it. Are we clear? Good. Very clear. Don't like it. Don't like it. Getting overwhelmed. Cool, cool. Less overwhelming now. Come on, hit a crit, hit a crit. Oh, beautiful. Really? Oh, okay, cool. Problem solved. I kind of don't want this dart monkey up though. Actually, no, it'll do well with primary expertise, I guess. We'll keep you around for now. I can't wait to throw you in that garbage though. Right. Yes, we appear to be doing well. Okay. Good. Those are a little bit more of a worry, but now we've got Balloon Bleed, which is a brilliant little upgrade. Damage over time from sorter makes a massive help. Makes a massive help. That's how tired I am. It is quite late at night. Allow me to spice up your day with thoughts of my day. Went to work. That was fun. It wasn't, that's a lie. It was good to start with, and then I was doing a lot of work on my own about midway through, which sucked. And then I got swapped onto a job that I don't really enjoy doing, which sucked. And then I got swapped onto a job that I really enjoy doing, but the printer was being an asshole, so that kinda sucked. So I sort of got a little happier towards the end of the day, but the printer being an asshole just kind of ruined a lot of the joy that I found in that job. Because typically, the job would be to obviously have things printed, and then on top of that, you would take the printed stickers, they are stickers, you would take those and you would put them on a box, make the box, scan the box, send the box down the line. Only thing is, the printer continues printing, right? It prints off one label, one sticker, and then it says, hey, I just printed off a sticker. I'm gonna stop and not print off anymore, right? Then you take the sticker off, and there's a sensor that goes, oh, there's no sticker there anymore. I'm gonna print another one. And then it prints off the next one. So you take a sticker off, you put it on a box, you chuck it in a pile. You take a sticker off, you put it on a box, you chuck it in a pile. You build up a big enough pile, you start making boxes out of that pile. You put them down the line's all backed up, you start putting more stickers on boxes. Everything works out very nicely, right? The problem with the printer was that it was going, print off this sticker, it gets caught on something. Admittedly, that something is actually a physical part of the computer, of the printer, and thus cannot be removed or destroyed without being called a saboteur. And so it would get caught on this little lip thing just outside the front of the printer, and it would sort of furl up the sticker a little. Not to the point where it would stick to itself and be annoying, but just enough to the point where the printer machine doesn't recognize that there's a sticker there. Right? So, I think you see where I'm going with this, potentially. So the sticker doesn't stick to itself and become annoying, but the printer doesn't think there's a sticker there, even though there is. And then it goes, oh, well, if there's no sticker there, I'm gonna print another sticker. And then that sticker comes out perfectly to stick sticky side to sticky side to the original sticker. Now, if you've ever stuck two very good stickers together, you can almost guarantee you're not getting either of those apart from each other in one piece. And I'm talking good stickers. I'm talking like you stick it on, it ain't coming off in the next 3 years, unless you beat the crap out of the box, or maybe if you just get a knife under there, you might be able to peel bits of it off, but it's probably ripping off bits of flesh, skin, box, whatever you've attached it to, whilst you're trying to remove it forcefully, right? By the way, this is the best I've ever done. Holy shit, yes. Thank you, Sorta. Etienne was stabbing me in the back, even though you've got the blades. But yeah, so it just went sticky side to sticky side. And if that happens, it's not the end of the world. You know, I'm able to reprint those stickers. Admittedly, it's a pain to do so, but it's a possibility, you know? Oh Jesus, what the fuck? Sort of, this is where you come in. Oh, you don't have the pop and power. Okay, well, yeah, this is what I was afraid of. Crossbow Master is ruining this for us, believe it or not. I'm gonna put something more constructive on the field.
We'll do that. Crossbowmaster is ruining this, and I need to acknowledge that and say it right now. Because of its insane range, it's attacking the balloons whilst they're outside of the range of the ball lightning and the druid and the lightning and the village. So it is turning them in, or the regrows that do manage to sneak through from this balloon being popped then get shot by the crossbowmaster. That crossbowmaster then starts to spawn massive amounts of regrow balloons. Those regrow balloons then can't all be hit by the druid all at once and be de-regrowed. So it leads to pain and suffering. Whereas this, with a tower with less range, is much better. But obviously, if you've had to do that multiple times, with least tiers on, you're kind of just screwed. So luckily, we had some left over. But this least tiers thing is cutting it close, eh? Might need to use an ability here. Potentially. We'll see, we'll see. Primary expertise is actually really good. Because it's like I always say when I remember that it's a tower, because sometimes you forget it's a tower. If regrow rate's insanely high, but nothing else is, then, you know, insta-kills are pretty cool. Don't have to worry about balloons giving birth if they're instantly dead. Basically like that, and I know this is an unfair comparison because the village actually came first, but it's like that that new map with the statue where you can pay like 100 grand or 150 grand or something stupid to get it to attack balloons on the map for you. But it is quite nice. Have a charge. Oh yeah. That's some damage. That's some damage right there. Anyway, that's the first time I've ever beaten that second map. So cool. And of course, this is the exact reason why this whole video was late. And I'm very sorry for that. But it's just shifted things back by a day. Not by much, just by a day. So there's still plenty of time. I will get to these 3 maps tomorrow, which will be Saturday, not Friday, which obviously kind of sucks a little. But as far as I'm aware, and if we have a look, these last 3 maps, and I'm really fucking hoping I'm right about this, I'm a little scared for Underground because people were also saying on the subreddit that they were suffering on that map. But as far as I can tell, regrow rate's only 377. Seems okay. Mob and ceramic health are pathetic, so if we can get something like an insta-kill for 77777, then that would be good. I don't know about DDTs though. I don't know what I'd get for them. Maybe a permacharge would do it. I don't know if you could afford both. We'll find out. And then this, which I haven't seen people complain about, but oh, and monkey knowledge is allowed on Underground, so if you know, worst comes to worst, you can just use monkey knowledge there. But this is what I think is a problem, right? Monkey knowledge is allowed on the 2 maps that are most likely, in the creator's eyes, the easiest, right? Because if it was allowed on Carts and Darts, High Finance, and Workshop, then I feel like they would be a lot easier, and thus people wouldn't complain about them. Anyway, I need to stop. Furyblade, nothing against you here, bud. Absolutely, I just want to make that very clear. Furyblade, I love your dedication to the Odysseys and to making them the hardest fucking thing on the planet. I will absolutely get very mad at your Odysseys, but not at you for making them. I want to make that very clear. And I'm also gonna absolutely be enraged and annoyed at Ninja Kiwi for not nerfing your Odysseys more. Because let's face it, sometimes they deserve it. Sometimes they do. Overclock, you too. You too. You can complain about nerfs all you want. And this isn't specific, but like, I know a lot of people when they submit their Odysseys, they're just like, either accept it as it is, or don't accept it at all, you know? Don't nerf my Odyssey, essentially. This is my pride and joy. And I get that, you know? You create something really difficult and you really enjoy it and you want to share it with other people, but in its true form, not in its, oh, yeah, we decided carts and darts were too hard, so we took the regrow rate out. You know, that would be horrible. Because that is the difficulty of this map. It's not this, it's not that, it's not this. It's not this, but this would help if you got rid of it. And it's not this, but it would help if you gave us a few more. It's this, right? You remove this, all of this is easy. Which, you know, obviously you can't remove this, but you can turn it down to something like 577 or 377 like it is on this one, right? Because obviously mini luck, I completely forgot to do this. See, I'm just terrible at this. When I've recorded this multiple times over, I forget to do like an intro and be like, hey, this is the maps, these are the towers, boopity boop boop ba-doop boop boop. You know, I forget to do that and I just jumped right in because I was already sick of this map and these other maps from playing them before. But where was I going with that? I don't know. Anyway, it's probably not important. Right, yeah, that. Mini luck. Luck 7 is a lucky number. 7's everywhere, except for the 3s. I like this one the best because all of those are 7s, but then these aren't 7s and these aren't 7s, which kind of annoyed me. But at the same time, it's probably for balance purposes. Anyway, Furyblade, I appreciate you. And I appreciate the difficulty you bring. Ninja Kiwi, I think you need to do a better job at monitoring the difficulty, playing it for yourselves, maybe getting a few people at the office to play it, and be like, hey, how many of you people could beat this first try easily, right? And then take it from there. Because let's be honest, especially with extreme mode Odysseys, you want to make sure people can beat it without being so frustrated that they restart the Odyssey multiple times and spend hours of their life wasting away. Anyway, that's been Mini Luck by Furyblade787. We will get to the other 3 maps in tomorrow's video, but for now, the first 2 are finally done. So, thank you all so much for watching. I hope this helped, and I will see you guys in the next one. So take care of yourselves. Take this Odyssey with a grain of salt, and enjoy the rest of your week. Bye-bye.